some video to show.
We do. We have a quick video.
We have a quick video. How is the video going? Do I need to pad, or we can go for it? Thumbs up. Okay, so hopefully, run VT. We good?
When we first thought of some championships, it was actually the original.
That is the wrong video, but that's okay. We can watch this.
The very first thought was that we something back in the day.
And I was going to be a spectator.
Is there another video?
There's another video. This one is actually an interview with one of our youngest players in Europe. He's 13, Mr. K. Cool. But I have probably a bit more interesting of a video which recaps 2015, kind of what we did in 2015 in esports. I think that's going to be
Is that the one?
this one. Yeah.
There we go. What's going on? Do you want to stop and start back again? Is that okay? Sorry, there's technical, yeah, because you kind of, it's not full screen mode, right? Should we delete one of those videos?
So many videos.
And this is one of the problems with esports. The technical situation is very different.
So production is important.
This is not what Twitch does, obviously. This is
I've heard some stuff about production value.
This is good. So, okay, were you able to go back to the start and play that one from the start, guys? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
At least we get really nice close-ups.
Yeah. So you just need to drag that slider back again. So we can play it in the window if it's proof of problem otherwise. It might be the format size is slightly different. Just need the audio and we can... There we go. Second time lucky. It's fine.
Welcome everyone to the esports arena here in Santa Ana for the 2015 Vainglory Autumn Season Live Final!
Wow, well that's very impressive.
That's why.
You've gone. That's some of my questions already gone, but no, that was very impressive. I think that was really cool, and I guess straight away that shows the intensity and the importance and just the engagement of esports right now, especially what you guys are doing. So you had some kind of some figures flashed in there. Like, could you kind of recap a little bit on what you guys have done? Because it was quite quick.
For sure, yeah, it was really quick. 2015 was a very big year. I mean, we kind of started our esports with the autumn season. That was the first event, kind of bigger event that we organized by ourselves. Prior to that, we partnered together with OGN in Korea, so we've run the IPL together with them. But kind of 2015, it really escalated very quickly, considering that pretty much a year ago, we didn't even have a spectator client in the game. And honestly, the community came to us like, hey, we want to organize tournaments, we want to do all this competitive stuff and watch your game and stream your game. And so we had to build a spectator client. It was literally from the first PAX of the year to the second PAX, we had built a quick spectator mode and ran the first tournament at PAX at Twitch's booth. And that's kind of where it all got started. And so during last year, we gave out $350,000 in prize pool total. Oh gosh, if I remember correctly, it was 155 million minutes watched on Twitch of Vainglory esports content. Our weekend, because we run our seasons, so we, like every year, I mean, it goes like winter, summer, fall, and so forth. At the end of every season, we have the North American European Championships. So one of the weekends, it's 1.5 million unique viewers tuned in, so on one of those weekends. So it's pretty impressive kind of growth very quickly. And like the video said, we just got started. I mean, right now we're in our 3rd season running that together with Twitch. We just kicked off summer, so we're very excited for stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. I mean, like, you know, aside from the size of the money, the engagement there, 155 million sort of minutes of watch and 1.5. That's incredible engagement. I don't know, like I'm sure we'll talk about this a bit later, but in comparison to kind of to regular sports, I saw some stats to show that already esports tournaments are already up there with everything but, you know, the World Cup and maybe the NFL Super Bowl. Is that right?
Well, I think that one of the most interesting pieces when you come to esports is just kind of what people do when they go and watch it. You see this in the chat sometimes, like, oh, I've been watching this for 9 hours today. Like, people get extremely invested in the programs. They don't go watch one game on Sunday. They go and watch the entire weekend's worth of programming. So kind of we have to look at how does this kind of this minutes watch number in particular, as we see it continuing growing, how are people doing it, how long are they watching these streams for, and how are they engaging with the brands?
And obviously, yeah, so we segued quite well. I'm going to skip between the two of you and I'm going to go away with my questions. So obviously, you guys are seeing all the data, I mean, both seeing that, but you're the experts in streaming. You yourself have had a pretty meteoric rise in the last couple of years, up until kind of acquisition, I guess, beyond. But your name previously was in, or has been in PC-based gaming primarily from what I've seen, what we're involved. I mean, why moving to mobile now, from a Twitch perspective?
Well, mobile is kind of on this cusp for a lot of the esports scene of, well, we see what our viewers are going and watching on in terms of devices, what they're watching on. And then we're really hitting the point when titles like Vainglory are coming in and presenting experiences that, from a competitive perspective, really match what we've grown up with or what we come to expect from a PC esports scene. So I think one of the biggest pieces that you see people's eyes when they're playing it at PAX, that it lights up. They go and they play the game, and coming in, they hear, oh, it's a mobile on touch. They have preconceptions.
Yeah.
And then they play it, and they're like, holy smokes, this is like, has everything here that a competitive MOBA has.
Yeah.
It runs beautifully, it looks gorgeous, and you can play it anywhere.
Yeah, okay. And have you got any, is there any kind of, we've talked about 155 kind of minutes, is there any kind of, any broad numbers or stats that you can share about how much of mobile content is being consumed in comparison to other content on Twitch?
Well, what I can say is that mobile is definitely one of our very dedicated fan bases where people watch it, just the number of devices. We have, 70-some billion minutes watched on mobile devices across 64 million unique users.
Wow.
So that, I think, we'll expect to see continue growing dramatically over time here. And then, for Vainglory, we've been seeing some pretty significant growth over the past season since they've started doing these sports scenes.
Yeah.
And percent-wise, I think our recent mobile viewership percentage is about 38% of our traffic.
Okay.
So it's pretty significant. For any developers who obviously are creating mobile titles, when you're thinking about the viewership perspective, though, obviously a lot of people are going to be viewing the devices that they're using.
Yeah.
So for titles like Vainglory, it is definitely higher.
So just a bit of a love-in, kind of early doors in this. So you guys obviously kind of come together. What was it that kind of led to that? You just saw, oh my God, look at the engagement with this, we've got to talk to these guys? Or what was it that kind of led you to come together in the first place? And maybe you can talk a little bit about what it is you're actually doing. So does everybody know about the deal between... That's very, very quiet, very hungover. So maybe you can talk a little bit about the nature of the deal, how you kind of got together.
Sure, so I can kind of start and Ryan can chime in. So the current status of affairs, so to say, is we've entered a 3-year partnership together with Twitch where we run our esports program together, sharing costs, sharing profits, and really Ryan and I work day to day together all the time anyway. So we're really kind of growing the scene together. From our end, what it really came down to is that we're a game developer. We'd love to be an esports production company, but in the end, we need to focus on building the game and making sure our players want to continue to play that competitively. And esports is so much fun. You can put so much time and energy into it. Yeah.
Cosplay also.
Yeah, you know all the things, don't you? Where was I? So yeah, as a game developer, it's also very important to keep focus on what you're actually probably better at, which in our case is building Vainglory. So we wanted to find a partner that can really help us grow the scene in a sustainable way, because it was really down to like, either we go out and hire 10 people and figure out how to do esports our own, or we actually partner together with someone who's already very savvy, who knows what to do and how to grow the scene. And then Twitch was a very natural partner for us. Also from the viewpoint that community is very important for us. We're always saying that you can't build an esport, your community has to tell you when you're ready to be an esport. Like, you have to build a great game and let them tell you. And Twitch, I think, is very similar in how community is really what Twitch is all about. So we kind of share that vision as well, which just makes it great to work together.
You got anything to add, or she's done it all? She's taken
Well,
it.
she's taken most of
I
it.
can see the nature of the relationship day to day.
I should actually add a bit of context around just kind of like esports in general at Twitch. So obviously we've been very involved from the broadcasting perspective. The esports team as a whole within Twitch is a little bit newer compared to the overall growth of the company, and our team is just very dedicated on kind of looking at the esports industry, the esports scene, and helping move it forward in a positive direction. Most of us actually in there come from competitive backgrounds. I used to compete a long time ago. And
Have you retired now?
I've done things.
Is it too late for me? Is that what you're saying? I feel like I've missed my calling.
Well, considering the age of a lot of the Vainglory players, I think everyone in this room is retired at this point. But no, in general, like we wanted to focus on having that kind of getting the esports products to the consumers and the consumption side, but with the background of being players ourselves, where can we really improve the kind of overall flow, and then working with developers.
So is this sort of deal? This is your first big mobile game related deal, though? Because have you worked with previous with PC titles maybe as well in a similar way? But
So the esports program in general, we have a variety of different everything's customized for each program. This is an example of an extremely hands-on one where we work very closely with SMC. Rocket League is another example with Cyanox that we work quite closely. There are other programs that we have different levels of kind of involvement in, between running the programs themselves to more around the production broadcast side.
Okay, that's interesting. But this is, as I say, the mobile. This is probably most hands-on. The first mobile.
Yes, this is definitely our
first and the only mobile. So, I want to ask a little bit about Vainglory. You've deliberately gone out and gone very hardcore for a mobile industry. It generally has been more casual, not exclusively, and obviously it's very similar in some respects to the PC MOBA. So is that, I guess that was a very conscious choice before you were in esport, that you wanted to do a hardcore MOBA, and that's part one. And part two is where does it differ? What choices do you have to make with the mobile version?
Sure. So for the first part, the founders of the company and actually everyone who works there, we're people who grew up playing core games. We spent hours LAN partying with our friends, or in my case, I spent way too many hours playing Diablo. And those are kind of the experiences that we want to also play regardless of what platform you're on. And we kind of feel very strongly that, mobile also deserves core games. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with casual games. It's great. I love them. I play them a lot. But we also felt very strongly that, if I want to get into a deep immersive game, I almost have to go dig out my PC or my console, go through the whole, update process and spend hours on it. Why can't I just go on my phone, open it up, and just get in there and get competitive?
Go through all the iOS updates.
Well, sometimes you need to do those. And that's really kind of what it comes down to. At Super Evil, we really believe that you should be able to play those deep immersive game experiences regardless of platform. And that's really been kind of the building thesis for the company. And we stand by that. And so then kind of tangenting that into your second part of the question, where we kind of compare to PC game. I mean, obviously, the clearest difference there will be the touch controls. If you've played MOBAs, it's keyboard and what do you call it, the mouse.
So old-fashioned technology.
English is my second language, bear with me. So
we can do this in Finnish if you prefer.
I don't know if anyone will get anything out of it in Finnish though. You kind of play your MOBA using those two hands. And then shifting from that into touch controls where you play either with your index fingers or a few fingers, it really depends on your play style. That's probably the biggest difference that you'll notice going from PC to our game. But it's really quick and intuitive to learn, and we put so much time and hours really to get the touch controls right, because especially if you want to build a game that's playable on a competitive level, the controls need to be out of the way. You can't be focusing on gaming and say, oh shoot, what did I need to do this thing? You need to just be playing, right? So that's been one clear thing. And then other than that, I mean, it's really a full-on MOBA. It's shorter. The typical session length is about 20 minutes. So that's considerably shorter than most MOBAs are around 40, 45 minutes. But other than that, it really has all the phases of a true MOBA, if you like. It is 3v3, not 5v5, so that's also a bit different. And everything has been built for the touch platform. So that goes from the map to hero design, like I mentioned, the controls already, and then also putting a lot of focus, making sure that it's a competitive game in the sense that you have different kind of MOBAs have a specific kind of pattern of how you proceed, where in the beginning you're trying to get a lot of gold, you're laning, you're jungle, you're getting objectives, then you're thrown into team fights. You really need to push down the turret, get into the enemy base, and eventually destroy them or they destroy you. So really making sure that all of those important phases are in there. And also, one key thing is that if you make a mistake, it can't cause you the entire game, right? You can't lose because of one single mistake. So also having that opportunity for comeback. So yeah, I mean, really, it doesn't differ that much.
Sure. So if you're a MOBA player, it'll be familiar.
Yeah. We have a lot of players who still play or used to play on PC, and they've hopped into our game, and it's straightforward to get into.
Okay, well that's good. That was a long sentence.
It was a really long sentence.
There's no breathing in that. That was good. I'm throwing a sort of different question at Twitch. I guess in the mobile kind of streaming video space, there's a number of competitors, as I'm sure there are with PC. We've had, a YouTuber doing things there, kind of Mob Crusher doing things there. How would you say that Twitch stands out? What's your differential there? Or what do you do better than everyone else? Come on. It's brand
we do a lot of good things.
Yeah, you've got nice hoodies. That's
Staff on it, sorry. But no, in general, there's a lot of great things that Twitch does, and kind of highlighted the community focus. In all the companies you've been in, there's always like, oh, we have value stuff, right? And that just kind of sits there on the wall. But with Twitch, it's like the kind of broadcaster first mentality is. It's not just there as a placard, it's just ingrained in absolutely everything that we do. So we're at a size where we have these abilities to create multi-million-dollar partnerships with developers and do awesome things, but at the same time we're also having very personal connections to all the broadcasters. So we're in a really nice spot at the moment. Additionally, like there is a community around the viewership of Twitch. So we have a lot of people tuning into these streams. The chat. Lots of new features that we keep adding into how we do chat, how we're adding the chat, the friend stuff that we just added recently, and a lot more. I'm not stealing thunder from TwitchCon because that's coming up. Just a little plug for later.
Yeah, okay. When's TwitchCon then?
That's in late September.
Fantastic. Yeah.
September, I think, 30 to October.
I heard you had like 1,000 people came for the hoodies last year.
People do like these hoodies.
I know. They're very nice. I'm quite.
And we have all sorts of other neat swag too, as well as SCMC does. The hats in particular. But yeah, otherwise there's a lot of kind of very, very community focused things that we work on as well. So compared to some of the other competitors, if you come in and experience the Twitch experience, you are really being involved in a different way than you could even out of live.
Yeah.
And then I would also say that for kind of Twitch's side when it comes to the broadcasters, we're very connected and concerned about making sure that they can have a kind of a sustainable growth pattern too. So one of the things, especially when it comes to mobile streaming, is not an easy solution at all. It's always challenging. And one of the things that we found is that for broadcasters who are turning this into a career, they're getting thousands of people tuning into all their streams, they're just watching regularly. Naturally, they tend to go to a high level of production value as well. So for a console player, if they're doing that, they're going to be plugging into a PC, they're going to be doing all the complicated overlays, and even if they started on console, that's kind of where they end up.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to the mobile stuff, I think we're still learning
Working out, yeah.
quite a bit and growing that. And one of the great things of working with SCMC is that we have the ability to do that with our esports broadcast of saying, hey, look, this is what a competitive broadcast of Vainglory can look like with a quality production side. And if you didn't notice, and when it's on the front page, we have tons of people who come in and they don't notice for a little while
Yeah,
it's a touch game. And they're not, holy smokes, I
That's
play this
amazing.
on the park or whatever.
I guess I think this is probably taking away a little bit from SMC. I don't want to take any chance, but like if you're a publisher out there, a mobile publisher developer, yeah, how do you go about working with Twitch? I mean, clearly you're not going to get this. Like this is the top level of partnership you can get, and she's not going to let anybody get close to you. That's fine. It's just going to be.
No, it's great
No,
if
she
more
loves
developers
competition,
join,
yes.
honestly.
But
Very
how-
welcome.
What's the kind of stepping stones? What's to start working with Twitch to help build your game into a potential esport?
So I think there's a couple different kind of facets of working with Twitch from that perspective. For the esports side, we definitely are always engaging and talking with a lot of different developers. We have a business development team that does that regularly.
Yeah.
And then just for the in general kind of product integration side, working with different developers to make their games in ways that really work well with a streaming platform.
Yeah.
We have an entire developer success team, and again, I want to point out TwitchCon's a really great way to get in touch with all of them.
So go to TwitchCon.
Yes, go to
That's fine.
TwitchCon.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, do we have a question? I've got kind of one final closing questions. Any questions about working with Twitch or creating your game for esports? I can't really see it, it's like a light right in my face. So. No, okay, I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna let you throw out there with one final thing. And in terms of what lies in store for you guys working together or for the general kind of mobile esports particularly, do you have any kind of predictions or anything you think we'll see in the next year? Are you guys going to be doing even more? I mean, obviously I don't need to give all the plans, but like, you were saying it's just started, so is this, what's going to happen next?
All the evil plans of world domination.
Yeah, you are the super evil megacorp after all. So.
No, so we're definitely kind of how I'd expect the scene to grow, mobile esports, kind of if I shift to a bit higher of a level. I wouldn't be surprised to see more titles joining mobile esports. I mean, Supercell and Clash Royale are a great example, and
They're getting a small following, I believe. They
yeah,
might
a
just,
slight, yeah. But it's just like PC esports. I mean, there's space for multiple titles and multiple audiences, and I do think that the growth of the overall scene of the overall industry is healthy for everyone.
Yeah.
Having more games come in, having more people tune in and follow, have bigger sponsorships, have more professional teams, see players actually be able to sustain themselves as competitive players. I think all of that is happening, and we'll see that kind of escalate further in the future, and also production quality, we'll see that increase as well.
Okay, cool. Anything?
Yeah, I think.
Pretty bigger.
Yeah, definitely growth is kind of the biggest factor. We see the potential side of the number of the number of competitive gamers out there is just so huge. Where we have 800 million PCs, 3 billion mobile devices, right? So that's kind of the big talking point number of.
One of those is bigger than the other. I picked up.
Yes, yeah. So and it's not a matter of if; it is just a question of when.
When and how? Okay. Okay. Well, can you have a warm round of applause, please?